Hi, everybody. This is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion, your host, the Hut, and welcome back to another visit to the insane asylum known as WFAN.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny fun.
Now, welcome back to the Baseball Head 3, and hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. As you know, I've been doing a lot of videos on WFAN here. It's a great subject. A great topic to go through, because radio is a very insecure and a very unstable industry. Anybody can get fired anytime, and they don't have a reason to just get rid of you. And basically, the reason they get rid of you is basically money. If a program director can squeeze one more dollar out of somebody else, they'll fire you in a second. And that's unfortunately what has happened to WFAN. The former host and now soon-to-be current host and returning host, Carton, is going to come back on January 5th. He signed the contract in the last few days. And two guys are basically on the way out at the radio station, I would think. At least one of them is. I think Tierney's probably out at the station. And Sal Licata is in limbo. Now, I said a few months ago on the Baseball Hut 2 that if this guy came back, or Carton came back, that the low man in the totem pole was Sal Licata. Because he was a guy that was basically a guy that did the overnights, he did the weekends. He's a real fill-in guy for for 20 years. He finally got his shot. He only got the shot for 2 years. That's kind of how the industry looks at him. They don't look at him as a star. Brandon Tierney's a different story. He's been on TV. He's been on ESPN. He's been on ESPN radio. This is his second show at the radio. His other show was Brandon and Tiki. A little boring. But he had a show that he carried with the former Giants running back Tiki Barber for a few years. So he's going to land on his feet because he's got a national resume. Sal Licata doesn't. Now he has a show on SNY called Baseball Night in New York, and he's a contributor. He's on every night. Sal, I feel bad for because I goofed on him for the last 2 years. I actually liked him for many years. I didn't like some of the things he'd said about the Mets, in particular Pete Alonso. 2 years and I went after him really hard on the Baseball Hotel. So that's kind of where I come from. It's not personal. It's only it's only business. But Craig Carton, who's a former criminal and convict, and this is not a joke. He was a guy that was in prison, I guess, for grifting some people. He as a major gambler, I believe. I'm sort of questioning whether he's gambling again. I also believe that, I know that he works for FanDuel, so he still has a relationship with the gamblers, If you don't think that FanDuel has some kind of backroom deal with the gamblers, you're fooling yourselves. Somebody runs it, and somebody's taking money out of it. Very quietly, that's how I feel. But Carton has finally come out and talked about this and what's going on. Now, he had a Fox show. It was on TV, but he had no national following. He has no national following. He's a local guy. So he did not appeal to the national media, to the national audience. The national audience rejected him. He had a show on Fox that got rejected twice. And even after they rebranded it, it's been rejected twice. So he's come back as a TV failure. He had 2 shows on the Fan. The first show with Boomer Esiason, that was there for 10 years until he resigned and then went to prison to hang out with his cellmate Bubba, or LaShawn, whoever he was. And then he came back after getting out of prison, and he had a show with Evan Roberts, who had a rather uneven take and a rather bizarre take, saying that he compared this relationship he had with Carton as a marriage, and that he's moved on to the next marriage, which his new husband is Tiki Barber. Now that show is going into the mid-morning slot from 10 to 2. So this has been very disruptive at the radio station. I don't remember this much disruption from anybody in the history of the Fan. So this has happened. But now Craig Carton has come out. He talked about this on Thursday, and he's quote unquote, "I'm sensitive." Let me read the headline from Barra Media. Craig Carton, I'm sensitive that Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata leaving WFAN show because of my return. Leaving? They're not leaving. They're fired. There's no other way to say it. That being said, I'm thrilled for the opportunity. I can't wait to get started. Oh, great. Craig Carton is back for his third stint at WFAN, leaving Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata without his time slot on the station. He acknowledges his role in that, I would mention. And his first public comment since the news was officially confirmed. Carton said everyone in the business has had a situation to opine on the situation except for him. Okay? I'm not in the industry. So whatever I say, never know what I'm going to say. He did know, however, that he does feel for Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata, who will exit the daytime lineup. They were fired. Let me just say it. Quote, it was too good an opportunity for me to say no to, Carton admitted. I am very respectful and sensitive to the fact that there are other people in that building that are losing their jobs. They were fired. Some as a direct result of my return. Some for other reasons altogether. And I appreciate how tough it is for them and their families. I'm very sensitive to that. There's nothing I can say about it other than you're very talented. I truly hope that you land on your feet and get another amazing opportunity in your chosen profession. This sounds like a form letter. Again, what did I say in a previous video? Comparing him to Tony Soprano in the very last episode of The Sopranos. When Dr. Melfi talked to other psychiatrists, and he talked about how criminals get involved in psychiatry as part of their criminal enterprise. This is a form letter. Let me read this again. This is a form letter. This could have been said by anybody. It was good. It was too good an opportunity for me to say no to. I'm very respectful and sensitive to the fact that there are other people in that building that are losing their jobs. Some as a direct result of my return. Some for other reasons altogether. And I appreciate how tough it is for them and their families. I'm very sensitive to that. There's nothing I can say about it other than you're very talented. I truly hope that you land on your feet and get another amazing opportunity in your chosen profession. It's just a cold way of saying it. That being said, I'm thrilled for the opportunity. I can't wait to get started. Now get the hell out of here. The return of Carton moves the station's current afternoon show, featuring Uneven Evan Roberts and Tiki Barberton middays, where the Coconut Head Brandon Tierney and Sal the Spaz Licata currently hosts. On Thursday, Tierney shared that his and Licata's final show together would be on Friday, which is unfortunate. They got rid of him pretty quickly. Tierney would then host the 10 to 2 time slot by himself during the week of December 15th, before exiting WFAN entirely. So he's gone. Sal Licata, meanwhile, has not publicly shared his next moves. Noticeably, WFAN has yet to announce plans for its overnight show. Licata has previously worked in that part of the night for the station before his elevation in the lineup. I think this is demotion. You want to be on during the day, dude. Okay? You want to be on during the day. Alright? There's a reason why that Steve Summers had that time slot for so many years. Because nobody wanted it. Okay? And then they had the sort of the dumbest person ever to work at the station, Joe Benigno, there. There's a reason why it is a very difficult time slot. It really is. Now, I would mention again, to guys like Sal Licata, if you're going to stay at the radio station and they live stream your show during the night, demand they turn on the super chats so you can make some extra money, since they took money out of your pocket from the day. Okay, this is the scam that this corporation has put on this group of talent, that they do these live streams on camera and they don't make any money off of it. Time is money. And if you're doing if you're on multiple platforms doing the same content, you want to get paid for it. I would hope you're doing that. Otherwise, that's less money for your kids. That's less money for your wife. And it's less money in your pocket to pay bills, to get a new car, to do what you need to do in your life. Do not take it. Don't be a fool. Okay? And that also goes for Uneven Evan too, with his Rico Brogna show. Enrico Brogdon show should be making a hell of a lot more money for him, and not just for WFAN with their little commercials and all the ads that they make and put out there. You deserve those chats, okay? If you were doing it on your own, you'd be making a hell of a lot more money. Don't be institutionalized, you guys. And Craig Carton, he doesn't care about these guys. He's full of shit. If this guy cared so much, why did he grift those people out of the tickets from years ago? Because he doesn't care. He thinks he's a star. They treat him like a star. We're going to see how he handles the bright lights of actually being criticized and made fun of by somebody that they can't control. You know. But you let me know what you think about this video. And of course, this is another visit to the insane asylum known as WFAN.
They're coming to take me away, ha ha. They're coming to take me away, ho ho, hee hee, ha ha. To the funny part.